So once again, I want to welcome everybody to this program, and it is my hope that by the close of this program, you will be very happy that you spent this about 1 hour 30 minutes in this program. Okay, so like I had shown just now, some of you may have read through it. That's exactly my profile. Just to know me a little, I have a degree in business administration. I love everything computing. A science student that became a social science student. So I'm still having that hunger for those things about programming, about databases, and all of that. So that's what you see here, and the different places I've worked. But we don't want to take too much time just knowing about me. Let's go to what we have to do today, and then start seeing it. So I'm going to share a fresh and just some information while we go through this program. If you have questions, you can just type them in the chat, and I would go through them and then answer them once I see them. Also, if there is something you're not getting clear while I'm doing it, you can just raise up your hands, and then I'll call on you, and then you can speak, okay? All right. So, so I'm going to share. So we are starting from a very, very fresh, and we're starting from the sheets just like this. And then we ask ourselves, HR dashboards, what are some of the things that we might want to do? So I'm going to start with just something simple. Assuming that in your company or in wherever you work, you have males and females. You have males and females. And well, almost all the time, we tend to have something like this kind of distribution. You see, counts. So these are the counts of males and females. And then these is gender. So if you have a simple table like this, you find yourself, most of us here may be able to just plot charts. So you select your table with its data, and then you go to the Insert tab. And from the Insert tab, you have the opportunity to see these different chart types that you have here. There are many kinds of charts you can use for this. Now, I want to start with the bar chart, as simple as this, the bar chart that you have here. And when you bring it up like this, certainly most of us will not like it like this. We want to find ways to beautify it. We want to find ways to make it better than what we have here. Now, Microsoft helps us to do exactly that. So it requires you to understand something. So for those of you who may not know, I want to click outside this chart, and I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this ribbon here. Especially, I want you to look somewhere above here and see what happens when I select the chart and when I leave it. So I'm selecting the chart now, and you see I have design and format. But when I click outside the chart, you don't have design and format. So the reason there is that once you select a chart, Microsoft knows that, yes, you want to do something about the chart. So it brings out this design and format. So if you click the design and format, you start to see that there are changes. There are changes in what you see in the ribbon. And that is because they are meant to help you to plot your chart in a way that you can better understand. Okay. So here, let me show you some of the features that are here. We will come back to these ones later, but the first thing you want to look at is the chart styles. Microsoft has provided you with some sample chart files that you can use. So if I point to anyone, it tends to give me and say, is this what you want? Is this what you want? And so on like that. So you get different chart types to use. So, but I can tell you for sure that even the chart types do not look as good as some of the dashboards that we want to use. So what happens then is that you have to be able to go and do what you actually want and then put it out there in your document. So I'm not going to click any of these, but I'm saying that if anyone satisfies your need, you can just click on it and use it, you see. But what we need to do is to go to this place that says add chart element, add chart element. This is the house of everything charts. And you need to know how to navigate and how to use the tools that are involved in there. So let's start to work on this and see if we can make it much more better than what it is now. So first, most charts that you see and on dashboards do not have these axis numbers here. They really are not necessary for you. So one of the things you want to do in any of the charts that you're charting is to take it off. So just go there, click just by it, and once it's selected, hit your delete and it gets out of the way. Another thing that is fashionable with dashboards is that they don't want the grid lines. We will take that out and we'll see how to do that. So while the chart is selected, I just want to go to my add chart elements and look at the things that are there for us to use. The primary here and these other ones. Well, already, if I remove it from the primary, you will see that the male and female is not there. If it weren't there initially, I will come here and then click on my vertical, and then I will have it here. You can always modify the vertical the way you modify text in your spreadsheet. What am I trying to say? So go to your home tab, and then I can make it bold. I can even give it a color that I desire. For example, I want it to be red, and I want it to be any color that I want it to be. For now, I will just leave it at gray. Clicking on it, going to your design, going to your add chart elements, we see other things. For example, for the chart title, do I want a title above the chart? Or do I want it somewhere at the center? Or do I don't want a heading? So it's good you have a heading. So you can easily go to this heading and then create something like gender distribution. Okay, so gender distribution is there. So go back there again and look at other things there. This time we have the data labels. Notice that you do not have data labels in this chart. So see what happens when I go through each of those things there. So you can see that when I go to center, I see that my data labels have come out, 31 and 18. I could choose for it to be the inside end, choose for it to be below, and choose it to be outside. This time around, I want to just leave it outside. I also want to make it bold. And if you so wish, you can give it a desired color that you might want. So, and that is what it is. You can also increase the size of it, just the way you increase text size, like you have it here, okay? That will take care of that. Now, if you go back to that chart element, like you can see, I'm always going back to that chart element because it helps me to get things out. Now, the next thing you see there is data table. What does it mean? So see what happens. If I go through, you'll see that a table comes below my chart, showing me for females and for males. Okay, so I have this one here, but I like it the way it is. Grid lines. So there is primary grid lines. You can see as I pointed to it, the chart no longer has grid lines. If I click on this, it's going to give me grid lines in it. Like I said, it is always best for you not to have grid lines in your charts. It's just a standard in plotting charts that you want to put in your dashboards, okay? So we don't need these ones. So you can see that our charts seem to be coming out better than it was before. It is clearer. But let's see if we have other things to bring in. We have the legend. You get it? So this is the legend. The legend would have given us, oh, females is a particular color or male is a particular color. We would see how to use this as this class goes on. You get it? So we'll get to do it. So let's leave that for now and look at other things about formatting our chart. So you know that sometimes in your organization, you want to use a particular color and you want to use it consistently. Now, Microsoft Excel allows you to do just that for your charts. Now, see what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Format. What does Format do? Format has everything that you will use to, design your charts, paint it, put lines or whatever that you want to put in it. So here, I'm just going to click my chart. I'll come here and I will pick this color. I want to pick this color as my background color. If I pick it as my background color, most likely I want my fonts. So it's readily here. I want my fonts to be white so that they can be seen. Remember that your fonts here, you can always make them bigger for them to show much more better. I also can come in here and say, all right, I want to make my chart have some color scheme that makes it good to look at. So this is what I'm talking about. So if you go to Format here, I could come here and I'll select this bar, it will select all of them. And then what I just need to do is come here and give it a color like this. Of course, it's not looking that good, but I want to show you a feature that you can use. So once I have colored it, it's the same with the background. Go back to this, your shape field, come to more colors here. So when you come to more colors, you're going to see that you can pick from any color here. But what I want to do, I want to use a different shade of this blue that I've used here. So I'm going to come here and just drag and get possibly a lighter one of it. And okay. So here it is. It comes out good and fine. So these features you can see compared to what we have before, it's coming out and looking out better. Take note that you can always adjust your chart anyway. It's always better for you to adjust it from this edge than to adjust it from any of this edge, because that could alter the aspect ratio of your chart. So this way we get to be able to reduce it to any size that we want and use it wherever we want to use it. Now, one more thing about beautifying your chart. So all these things we've used here are in either the Design tab or the Format tab. So one other thing I want to show you is that if you don't like the chart this way, I'm going to just make a copy of it. Just select your chart and hit Ctrl D and you will get a copy of your chart. So I want to work with this one so that you see some of the difference that is coming out. I can change my chart type. So it's in the Design tab. I can come this way and change my chart type. Okay, so here it is. So you can see that when I hit Change Chart Type, I have different charts I can pick. So this one is using different colors, which I might decide that, okay, I want to use it. But take note, you can always do this, and I'll show you how to do it. Now you can choose that, oh, I don't want a vertical chart. I want horizontal charts. So here again, we have it. I want to pick this. Once you are sure that, yes, I want a horizontal chart, make sure it's selected. Click on it, make sure it's selected, and just hit OK. So you can see that I've gotten a horizontal chart. So you might ask me, why should I use a horizontal chart in this case? Well, sometimes what you want to plot may have names that are quite long and may not fit in very well here. So you can see that the width of each of the bars is smaller here because we have come to this. When you are doing dashboards, you just have to manage space. You see, you just have to be able to manage space. And these are some of the ways that you can manage space, okay? All right, so it is changing to this, and then you can make your choice based on any of them. So I'm going to just select this, hit my Control D, and I'm going to just have another one. I want you to see different changes that you can make to a chart when you're working with charts, okay? So here again, I'm able to show you certain things that you may not see here. You see, that is one thing with Microsoft. Some of these things are not just there ready for you to use. So if you know where to go to get them, where to find them, it is easy for you to just go there and create something very, very interesting. Okay. So what am I trying to do at this point now? I'm going to click on this chart and I'm going to right click on it. Another thing you can do is just double click. Double click. This is what I want to come out. This thing here. See that? This here. If you click different parts of the chart, you are going to see different things. Let me show you. If I should click this, see, it has changed to this. If I should click inside here, it becomes this. If I should click outside of it here, it becomes this. So what is it trying to do? It is trying to give you tools and say, oh, these are the tools that you can use to work with whatsoever that you're seeing here. For now, I want to show you something that it's cool that you can do to your charts, okay? And that thing is with the field. So you can see here, I have this bucket like a paint that it's like feeling something. And I have this other one. This one helps me to do other effects in it. But in dashboards, you don't want to put too much effects like shadow effects and all of those things in it. So if you're seeing standard chartboards, it's something just like what you're seeing here. This one helps me to control things about the size of the chart and some other properties related to the chart. But what we want to do is here. We come to this field. Here. So you see from here, you can be able to fill the chart with just any color that you want to fill. So they are here waiting for you to use. And so if you do that, it's going to change it. You get it? It's going to change it to whatever that you want. But I like my blue and I want to use it. Then we have this other part that is borders. You see, it was collapsed before, but you can open it so that you can see the different things that are in it. So here we are seeing the things that you can use to do the lines around it and so on. Much of them are not what you need to use, but what I want to show you, do you know that it's possible for you to have rounded edges in your chart? So now that I've done that, I want you to see these charts here. I want you to see these charts here. You can see that these ones are square, rectangular, but just this one has got some rounded edge around it. And it tends to make it cool when you're doing charting. Now, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to show you the different things you can do when you're doing charts. So this one I've done here, you can also use it for other charts. You can also use it to see how other charts flows, okay? So at this point, let us look at another kind of chart and let us see how we can use that to plot, how we can design that in ways that we want. This time around, this one is, let's just call this bar charts. I know you might be asking, we will bring all of them to something like a dashboard just now so that you see that creating HRO dashboards are not really difficult things for you to do. You know, it's just for you to be able to understand where to go and how to go things so that you can achieve what you want, okay? So Let's assume we are in another sheet, and possibly we are told that things like let's call it educational level. So we have educational levels, and let's just have things like masters, bachelor. Let's have diploma. Let's have diploma in there, and let's just have some like post-grad. So let's have this one here. I'm just going to, now what you see, because I'm trying to show you the beauty of building dashboards, there is also the side that relates to automating your dashboards. Those things, I'm going to show you information about that. So we have this here. Let's just have counts here. It could be anything you want to put there. And let's just have some random numbers here. So maybe in our organization, we have about 31 of this. We have 43 of this. We might have about 21 of this. And here we might just have about five of them. Okay. Well, let's just take this out, because let's assume masters takes that out. So this is what we have here. One of the things that you can use to quickly tell that how am I going to work with this one is that you would quickly see that this is a share. So your organization is like a full organization, but you are splitting it into these parts. We go to the Insert tab. We take a pie chart, and here is the pie chart. This is just what it will give us. You get it? So let me just reduce it here, and then, and I'm going to make a copy of it so that you see where we're coming from. So let's have a copy of it here, and then you see what things we can do on it. So here, actually, this is not what I want here, so I can always change it. And so we can say education levels. Okay. And say education levels. Just as you can edit other tab, you can change it to a style that you want. You see. So if you go to your home tab, you can pick any style of writings that you want and use it for it. So you can always do that. I always want this to be dark and bold, you know, and make them bigger, make them bigger so that if you see what I did, I made it bigger, and you see one of them is out. Feel free to hold any edge of it and then adjust. You get it? Just adjust it. Adjust it so that it comes out, and take it to just anywhere that you want it to be in the chart. Okay? So here is it. It's in the chart. So remember what I said about the design. I can come in here and then decide that my data labels should show. So you can see my data labels coming out of it. They are coming here, outside, best fit, and all of that. But let me show you one thing. These are just the defaults, and they are presenting it to you. Microsoft knows that you could do better than this. And so if you look here, you will see more data labels. So you want to always watch out for that, because you will be able to do more things with that. So now see what I do. I'm going to click on it. And then see, it automatically brings in these data labels. But why is it bringing it? It is because here I have this one set ticked here. Value is ticked here. So if I remove it, you see it's gone, and I bring it, it's inside. So what if you just want to show not the numbers, but the percentage? So would you need to go and be calculating it again? The answer is no. You don't need to do that, because here you can actually do other things like bring in percentage. So you have something like this. You could choose to take out values and leave just percentage in there, you see, or If you don't want, you want to bring in the counts. But in dashboards, you just want something to show, you just want something to show an idea of what things might be. So if we just look at the numbers, it might just, it will give us an idea, but there might be policies as regards these different levels that you are bringing into the organization. You get it? So the percentage might appear to be a better fit, you know, than the values. If you also feel you want to add the values, it's also fine, okay? It's also fine for you to do that. But the thing is that you might need a bigger chart so that it can contain everything. For now, I want to just leave it with the percentage and just say that it is okay. All right. So here we have it this way. Now you can see that, well, the numbers appear to be hiding. You get it? The numbers appear to be hiding. So we can still do more to that to do it the way we want. Okay. But first, the colors. Do we just give it any color? Actually, no. We can improve on the kind of colors that we use. So remember this design tab that we went to. You see change color here. So if I click on it, this is the default. If I move it, I'm going to see that I have different kinds of colors there may be. Now, for dashboards, it is always best for you to use one color and use shades of that color. You know, use one color and use shades of that color. So that's exactly what I want to do here. I want to pick this one. And as I've picked that one, I could come here and then I can make my characters white, or I can make them a little, yes, white can be okay. And then if you're having struggles to give it exactly what you want, you can just choose to say, okay, I'm going to make it white. Then I'm going to make the fill color something dark like this, black. So you see that it comes out and you are able to see it. You can always make it to be as big as you want, and so that you can have something to show for it. So you can see what the default is here, and you can see what it is here, okay? So that's it. I can hold on any of this and pull them to anywhere that I want, because the default position may not be ideal for me. So I can pull them to just anywhere I want, like that, you see? And then dragging them to wherever you want, you'll be able to achieve something, you know, in whatever you're doing. Now, let me show you something. It's not every time that you will get a chart where you will find all the features in Excel, okay? It's not every time you will find that. So see, one thing I want to do. If I've chosen to have my chart like this, I could do something interesting. What is the total number of these stars? So I'm going to do a formula, that's sum. I'm going to select all of these, hit my enter button, and I have this 95 that is there, okay? So 95 is there. And then I would come and insert something. I want to go in here to my insert tabs. You are going to be using shapes a lot to do much of your visualizations. You get it? You'll be using shapes to do that. So see here, I'm going to just come here and pick a circle. I'm picking this circle. See my circle here. I'm bringing it to the center here. I'm going to bring it to this center here. And I'm going to make it white. I could choose to make it white. I could choose to make it gray. The line colors could be white, like this. And then I have this. What exactly do I want to do? Let me show you, but this is how I do it. First, I'm going to select this, my shape, my circle. Then I'm going to come to the formula bar here. Can you see the formula bar here? I'm going to come into this formula bar. I'll put an equal to sign, and then I would go straight to my total here and hit my enter button there. Now see what has happened here. So that 95, it's inside here. Let me just change this to maybe 35. So it becomes 99, and my chart will respond accordingly, and I will have 99 there. But I actually want it to be at the middle, at the center of it. Okay, I'm going to right click and then shape format. So if it doesn't do that, just click on right click and format here. So this is actually where we are coming to. But where we want to work on is not this one, the fill and the line that we did before. We are coming to this place where you have something like a cross. So I'm going to click on it, and then you are going to see text box. Click on the text box. And what I really want to do is that I want to bring this one to the center of it. So what I'm going to do, the top margin, I'm going to increase it. So you see, I increase it to 1, and then I have this one that I have here. So I could choose to increase it further. If it doesn't work for me, fine. I reduce it. I go to that of the left margin and then increase it a little. So I'm going to use this now and then reduce this one. Okay, it's about better than what we have before. So you can always manipulate them here to get exactly what you want. Okay, where is the left? Let me just use 5 here, hit it. And then let us reduce this one. Let me reduce this one, correct. So once you play around with these numbers, you'll be able to get it somewhere at the center, compared to just if we have this one here, and then compare it to what we already have here. So you see that there has been a difference. So these are ways in which you can improve your charts and make them much more beautiful than what you have previously. So this is meaning. So this is a pie chart. This is a pie chart. The next thing that we want to do might be interesting. Have you ever had situations where maybe your company has branches in maybe different parts of Nigeria, and then they want you, and you want to show something like a map? You know, you want to show something like a map to show the distribution of workers you have in these different parts of the country. It is something that you can do. You see, let's have a map. But this time around, you have to be a little creative, you know. So you actually need to, go to a web page. Let me share this with you. Like now, I'm just going to say Nigeria map, geopolitical zones. Okay, geopolitical zones. Oh, sorry. Okay, yes, I think I'm sharing that. So you can see many of them here. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick on one of them. I'll pick on one of them. Just take it, copy the image, right click on it, copy the image. Once you've copied that image, you go back to your Excel sheet. So it gives me a bitmap here. And so here is what we have here. Now, why am I bringing a map like this? Not because I really want to use this map, but actually you can create a map. You know, you can create a map of your own that is customized to possibly the colors that you want and the things you want to be in that map. So see how I do it. Excel gives you that opportunity to do just that. So I'll go to insert, but this time I'm going to shapes. So I'm going to shapes, and in shapes, look for lines. These lines, just look for the one. Don't use this connector code. No, we are going to use this one that is curve. So I'm going to click on the curve right now. And then what I just do is try to get this map. So it just requires you to get something out. I want something that would be all covered. So if it's all covered, you can actually use your own color on them, and then you can actually achieve what you want to achieve with it. So by the time you have gone around it, automatically you see it brings out this for you. Okay? So you see it brings out this for you, which you can use just any color that you want to work with. So once you've done this for the first time, you don't have to continue doing it all over again. So right now you might want to do it for the 6 geopolitical zones and so on. So it's the same thing that you do, the same thing that you do to get that done. So just go and then create your 6 geopolitical zones like that. And then you can just use them, like this. So you know that this one is here. So you see you are creating shapes to work on it. And then you just do that for all others. Do that for all others, and before long, you just need to do it for all others except one, because that particular one would have shaped itself when you have drawn the other ones. Okay, so I'm just clicking around this one, and like I said, you don't need to be too accurate, because it would, if whatever it's not accurate, I can tell you that you can fix it after you have done it. So that is what you can see happening here. Okay. So I've already done that one. Double click, it comes out. So you see, you have it here. So you can now decide that, okay, I'm going to be using different colors. Now see why I told you that you don't need to be too accurate. Because if I come here now and I want to make this much more accurate, you see this place called edit shape. So I'm going to just take this, but edit points, hit my edit points. So you can see all these dots here that you can drag. You can drag them to place. You see, drag them to place, and then you'll be able to work with it and then get exactly what you want. So what am I trying to do here? Let me just quickly do this other one here. Like I said, this would only be one off whenever you do it. So I'm just going to go a little fast, but when you're doing yours, you could choose to just be a little thorough, depending. If you have any mistakes, you can always correct them once you have brought it into the map. So we are going to exploit a feature. We are going to exploit a feature. Yeah. Okay. So you could just give it any other color that you want. So you can see these two parts of it are having these other colors. So because of time, I'm just going to use this to do the example that I want to do. Just these ones, okay? So once you've got to this stage, come to this select, find and select. You will see select objects. So I'm going to click on this select object, select all of these objects, come to your format. Your format will appear, and then just group it. So you see it's now one object. It's now one object grouped. So let's assume that you now have, let's assume I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's assume we have 5. So we have south, north, east, east, west. I'm just trying to use this ones and maybe something like northwest. And so we have different numbers there. Let's have some different numbers put in there. And then 23, and then let's just say 5 here. So using those skills that I mentioned, you could just bring a shape, you know, take any kinds of shape that you want. Let's use a circle, you see, a circle like this. And then just put that circle in different points. You know, let's have it as white, and let's leave it something like this. Okay. So once you select this, you can just go to your formula bar, hit your equal to, and then you have it here. Okay. So that one is there. Copy it, take it to somewhere else. You see that? Go to your formula bar, edit it, put it somewhere else. So I'm not following what the real geopolitical zones are, but you could just have them in different places like this, okay? And let's have this one somewhere here, and then we can edit it. Sorry, what happened there? Okay, we can edit it here and then just call it this. So at the end of the day, if it doesn't take it all, you can just extend it a little bit, and then you have it like this. At the end of the day, you'll be able to have a chart that speaks to distributions in your dashboard. You see that? You have a chart that speaks to your distributions in this way. So even if it takes you a little time, you'll see that it is just one for you to treat. Now, let us look at one other thing that we might want to put in our dashboards. Okay, so that's just that one. Sometimes you want to do a funnel, you know. This time, let's rename this one to be a funnel chart. Now, there is actually no way, because if you go to your insert, you will not see anything like funnel charts. But when you are doing dashboards, you might need to create something like a funnel chart to see how it works. So let me show you how that will be done. So like I told you, you'll be using a lot of shapes to design visualizations that you're carrying out. So I'm just going to come here. I'm going to click this object. So I got it from the shapes. You can even see it here. Because I'm using it a lot, Excel is putting it here for me. So I'm going to just get one like this. I always like to remove the line colors there. That's the lines around it so that it's smooth. I'm going to make a second one. But I want this second one to turn this way. So while it is selected, you'll see tools to work with it here. Okay. So here, I'm just going to pick this one. I'm moving around. So I see the one that I really want, and here it is. So here it is. So I'm just going to bring these two together like this. And then I'll go back to those shapes, insert shapes, and pick a circle. Just draw a circle like this around it, and then take this out. I want to make it darker, maybe something like this, or gray like this, and then this. So you can see what has happened here. It looks like something was. So we want to select all of them, group them together. So we come here, select objects, go around it this way, and then we group it. So when we group it, it becomes one object. You see that it becomes one object. I can extend it. I can extend it to wherever I want. So what I really want to do is to create something that looks like a funnel, you see. So where can you apply this in HR dashboards? You can apply it when you are trying to show possibly hirings or recruitments and so on like that. So we can just create something like this. And let's just say this one is the last. So we can use text box to like invitees or number of invitees. So I'm going to just put that one here. Possibly we make this, you can double click to be specific on what you want. And then let's be consistent with our color. So we make this one white. See that? So we do it for this, and this one. So we have this number of invitees, and we have number selected, and then number interviewed. So you get the import of what I'm trying to interview. So this you can use to show your monthly stuffs and so on. Maybe number hired, something like that. So you have something like this showing. And so how do you now put in those your numbers? You already know, because I have told you that you can always use objects. You can always use objects, or you can use text box to get that in. So I get 100 persons in here. So I get 100 persons in here. Let me just put it like this, put it white. Most of the time it could be in percentage. And then we got about 40 of them selected, and Control D comes here. Of the 40, I'm now bringing in 15, and then of this 15, I'm going to hire 5, something like that. You see that? So if I use my select shape objects, select all of this, and then group them, so it becomes one object. It becomes one object that I can move around and do whatever I want to do. So quickly, you can see that there are actually many things we can do here. Let's try to see what we can do when it comes to putting together our dashboards. So remember that we came here and we felt this looks better. And so I'm going to just take this one, come somewhere here, and then paste it here. Sorry. Copy. So what we're just trying to do is that we are just, this is quite introductory. And so what we are doing is just try to see what can we do to get our charts in ways that it looks much more attractive. You get it? So I'm going to use this behind. This is going to be white. And then same with this one. You get it? So I'm going to come and then take this one as it is in full. Oh, okay. So for this one, I have not joined it with all of this. So whatever it is, we can always group them to be one and move them. Even though you group them, you see, even though you group them, they will all go together and they will all do whatever you want, anywhere you take them to. So that is how you start to shape them, put them in places that you want them to be. You get it? You put them in places you want them to be. You get it? Sorry. Okay, so for that one, what I have done is make a background for it so that it sits on a background and to have a color scheme that is like others. You know, it could be better than this, but I just want to show you this to put it there. Then for this one, I'm going to pick it now. I'm going to pick it from here and then just find a place for it. So there are actually many, many things we can do. And before you know it, you build a very attractive dashboard that you can use for presentation. Other things are just some art. You get it? Let me take this out. So other things you do in a dashboard are actually things like they're like art. You get it? So let me just use a color for its background, maybe this, and then down. So when you see dashboards and think that, oh, this dashboard looks great and something like that, it's actually some of the basic things that are being fed into it to give it whatever it looks. So you can always have separations in your dashboards to use to determine that, okay, this part of it is for so and so, and this part of it is for so and so. You get it, to separate them, and then you get something really, really impressive. All right, so quite a lot have been said so far with regards to building dashboards. As you can see, you need more than the time that you have in here to actually build dashboards of this sort. Okay, we're going. So actually, this is what I've been preparing for my establishment to show the people. So you can actually build much more complex dashboards, but you need to do, for example, you can see the kind of chart that we're having here. This one does not pose that much challenge, but it's just one of, if you build it and then it's there. You see the temperature charts that we have here. It's able to visualize a lot of things, and all of these things are done in Excel. We can be able to build them and show them in our dashboards. You have more dashboard that looks more attractive and communicates information like what you are seeing now on the board. So it is there. It is something that you might be interested to look at and then follow up. Like this other one you see here, it's got some things where you can automate your dashboards. And this is possible within Excel. So these are all the things that we're putting together to say, okay, we want to have sessions, you know, on weekends where we can go in depth and learn these things, and so that you'll be able to do it hands-on. So that's what you have here. The program covers a lot of things like, you know, Excel table layouts, Excel grids, Microsoft Excel formulas, relative and absolute referencing, Excel pivot tables, and Excel charts. So all of these are things that are planned to be featured in this training. What I'm just trying to say is that I will share this with you via email so that you can see what it is and then see if you are interested. But we still have some time. If you have questions to ask, if you have things you want me to quickly show you, I'm very willing to do that. So it's on to you now. Questions you might have for me. You can just unmute and then ask any question.
Okay, so thank you very much for putting this together. It's been very enlightening, and I think with the way you have tried to explain, you made it very simply.
Okay, thanks very much. Actually, they are quite technical. So if we had more time, we would have been able to really look deep and then take you through it.
Okay. So no.
I had a network glitch and so on like that. So sorry, can you come with that question of yours, please?
So I didn't have a question as per what you have taught.
Okay.
But I didn't quite get the last set of things you said. You know, you were breaking before,
Oh,
and when you came back on, you were muted. So I didn't really get the information you were passing across.
I was trying to tell you more about the course that we had put together to be able to show you how this HR dashboard work, how we are going to look at how to use formulas to come up with what do you call it? Dynamic dashboards. Dynamic dashboards should be more than just coming in every time to put in numbers. No. So your dynamic dashboards are those where if you just come, go to your database, put the raw data, it's able to read it, and then your dashboard will change. So what you are seeing on the board on shared now to you now, it's actually a dynamic dashboard. Each of these buttons, when you click them, it's going to change your dashboards. Now Excel does that very, very well. So you need a lot of formulas. You need a lot of formulas to be able to do that. And that is why like this course looks into some of the Excel functions that you will be using to carry out that. So if you look very well here, you will see we have logical functions. For HR people, you need to know how to use the switch function. You need to know how to use date functions, you know, like EO month function, E-date, year, month, day. You know, these are things you can easily Google and find out what they do, but you need to use them to be able to build your dashboards. Then you have text functions that you will need to use, like left function, right function, mid function. You know, all of these functions, they need to teach you so that by the time you take your data from your ERP, plug it into Excel, what happens is that Excel will be able to read them because you have already prepped them, you have prepared them with these functions so that you will be able to carry it out. You have lookup functions, you have statistical functions. I know that many HR people may be feeling that, look, you are taking me into programming and all of that. But you see, if I take you step by step, because the way we are going to do it is not just come for 2 hours and teach and tell you, no. It's a week long that concludes with that weekend meeting where we meet physically like this. But I'll be sending you materials, I'll be sending you videos that will teach each of these things. So by the time we come on a Saturday and spend 2 hours, what we are doing is looking out for things that, oh, we could not understand, we just fix them. And then you will be doing your own project to come out with a HRO dashboard, either for your organization or for you to just practice hands-on so that you can be able to use it in any way you find it necessary. So those were the things I was trying to cover when my network went out.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Ruth, do you have any questions for me? Hello, Ruth.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
No, I don't. I listened in. Oh, thank you very much.
All right,
So
thanks
even though I'm not all new in HR,
okay.
my use of Excel is not as I don't use the Excel sheets as much as I am
You
more
want to.
generalist. Yes.
Okay.
So this lesson was to interest me for like a beginner again.
Okay.
Because I haven't been using it. I write more. I do my reports more with words.
With words, okay.
So
okay.
with words. So
okay.
I wanted this training to be like I thought it was going to be like a beginner's own, you know, where you put in you're putting in your fill, your sort, learning formulas. But
Okay.
I like how as I was able to see what you did with the colors and making charts, and so I'm still going to have to go on YouTube to still do some brush up trainings or something, or find trainings on LinkedIn. So it's not bad at all. So knowledge is lost.
So this is what I'm saying, that you see, let me tell you something about Excel. If you go to the finance guys, the way they use the Excel formulas, use Excel is a little different from the way you in HR will use it. If you see
yes, yes.
So if you see what I'm showing you here, all the functions that are here are functions that HRO people need and will use. Now, the thing is that if you
Okay.
go to just any Excel training, you are likely going to be
Yes.
given functions that you will not use at all. And the belief is that they are telling you that learn these things, know it because you need to know how to use Excel. But what I'm presenting to you is one, it is functions that you need, everything you need to do your Excel, your HRO work while using Excel. That is one. And then if you have learned it, you have already gotten a footstool to take you to any other kinds of Excel things because they are similar. So this one saves you time. It makes it more focused for you. It makes it more focused for you. So if we are to start the full training, you will need to go to those raw aspects of Excel, the table, how do you present it? How do you use formulas? How do you use formulas, for example, maybe where you got it, last name and first name are together. How do you split them so that you have things like that? All of those things will be considered in this training. So what now happens is that by the end of it, you now know everything you need to know using Excel. You get it? You now know everything you want to use in Excel, and that should be able to seal things.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it.
Okay, so could you give more details about the training? I guess it's something you want to organize for those interested, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes. So that's what I'm sharing on the board now. This actually, I would share it to everyone. This is actually what introduces you to what we are going to be learning. But this place is what contains what we are going to be learning. So you see here, it says spreadsheet grid, referencing cells, range, and sheets. So this one, you are going to understand Excel in those sheets. So those sheets that look like the A1 or so textbook that you use when you were in primary school, we are going to understand what it means, how we can use it. Then we'll go to the aspect of relative and absolute referencing. This is the big place that everybody, whether you're in finance, HR, or this is where they always have issues working on. You get it? So we are going to demystify it in a way that you would understand. Because once you understand this, you have understood 30% of Excel. Only that one, you have understood 30%. Because it's going to affect a lot of formulas that you'll be writing. So we are going to do that. Then we are going to come in and look at functions. The function is there. What are the elements? Well, sometimes you write a function and you get errors and you say, what is this? It's because they don't understand the elements and the functions that are used in Excel. We'll demystify all of this. Then we'll now go to the functions. A function just helps you to get a result. You see, what is the average number of salary in so-and-so department? It involves two things. One, we need a function to help us go and get only for the admin department. Secondly, that function should be able to get an average of people in the admin department. It returns it and want to show it in our dashboard. So we'll be looking at each of those functions that we require in the training, and then you will be taught how to use it. Then you have text functions, because sometimes the ERP will spit something to you that you don't necessarily want. For example, you might want to look at your ID number, which is concatenated field with so many things. What if your ID number indicates that this person works in the north, this other person works in the south, and so on? So I need to be able to split it out of their ID numbers. Excel has functions that does just that. And so you'll be trained on how to use those functions to carry out that. We'll look at other functions. Sometimes you're ahead of VLOOKUP, and most of the time you work with lists, you use VLOOKUP. We'll do VLOOKUP, we'll do HLOOKUP, and we'll see something else that is better than the two, so that you can choose from them to know which one actually works. So yes, so that's exactly how that is going to go. Then we are going to look at pivot tables. For many of you who may not like to use excessive formulas and so on, pivot table saves you a lot from most of the formulas. So when you learn how to use this pivot table, get your final data out of the pivot table into your dashboard, it's ready for you to use. You can carry it out, you can do your reports. The good thing is that you can snap your dashboards, put them in your PowerPoints, and use it for your monthly reports. Whether you want a part of it or you want a whole of it to show, you'll be able to do that. All of this, we'll go through them, and then we'll now be able to carry out case studies. You can decide, when I say case studies, you can decide, oh, I want to work on a visualization for HR dashboards, and I want to do this, that, I want it to look like this. Pick anything you want, pick any visualization, you see. We'll make sure you know how to do it in Excel. You get it? We'll make sure you know how to do it in Excel. And so, and so that is why we said that you must do a hands-on case study. Do it for your organization so that you'll be able to learn and go along. By the time you finish the case study, I can tell you that in HR matters, you'll be a guru when it comes to Excel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that is just it. So actually, the program is like you can see on the board there. It's going to be a 3-weekend program, but in between the weeks,
okay,
we'll be sharing thoughts. We'll be sharing. If you tell me that no, this is something you can't understand, I'm going to make a short video and send to you so that you understand it. You see that? So it is made so that it's adaptable to your work schedule. You get it? So by the weekend, you might have little or nothing to do. We just come around, maybe see what you have done. Can we perfect it this way? Everybody gets to learn. And at the end of the day, we learn a lot. But the first 2 weekends will be all tutorials because you want to know how to use those functions and how to use them well. That's where we'll be spending much of the time.
So if I may ask, would you be working with so it's the timing I want to get now.
Okay.
So would you work with so for instance, I may have my own schedule, Ruth may have our own schedule. So for instance, we have different times.
Yes, yes.
You know,
okay.
Is that possible?
So this is the thing. Through the week, you might have some time you want to deliberate and say, okay, I want to work with this or work with that, ask questions and so on. You can engage with me and we can work. You get it? But for the weekend, we want to do something general that everybody can take and go and use to do their work.
Okay.
Yes, they should be able to take it for the first week and be able to do a dashboard after the first week. So by the next week, they learn more things that they want to use to fine-tune their work. And then by the third week, we are just rounding up. You get it? So that is just how it would, be.
Okay, sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions.
No, so feel free. We still have time. Actually, I created the 30 minutes for just questions because I thought I would have a lot of questions and they will want to have questions.
So my question is, when do you intend to start?
It was starting on the 6th of November. So 6th, 13th, and the following weekend would just be when we'll conclude with everything. Now take note, the weekend classes would be recorded. And so you can watch them. You get it? You can watch them and then work with it in your office and do some of those practice there. You know, so it is done in such a way that you can't miss out. And after the entire training, you still have up to 1 week to, you know, disturb me, get me so that you get what you want from this training and then carry it out. Yes. So it is actually scheduled to be like that. Although you might see a cost of 35,000 there, but if you pay before now and 6th, you can take 20% out of it and pay, and you'll get everything that you should get. Yes, you'll get everything. I'll be sharing this document to everybody so that you can take a look at it one-on-one and then make your decisions.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I see one more person has joined us, Buki.
Yeah, Buki joined us. I hope I wasn't the cause of that.
If she has any questions.
I want to plead for that timing that was given before and so on. Actually, the time was 10 as was advertised. Hello, Buki.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Don't worry, definitely you'll be able to watch the videos, but if you have any questions based on what we have been saying, feel free to share.
If I can
Don't
get
worry.
the video and the
I'll share
recording
it.
and then the
Yes.
slide, then I can catch up and then reach out.
I'll share it. I'll definitely share
Okay,
it.
that's
Yeah.
fine. Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. All right. If there are no questions, it's been a nice time. I actually appreciate that I got people to listen to me on this aspect. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me on the mail. I will go and I'll be checking and then I will resolve any issues. So have a nice time.
Okay,
everybody. Yeah,
So
a question?
just a quick one, Charles, please.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So like everyone said that they had actually responded, sent an email to get clarification on the timing. I
Yes.
also did.
Oh, okay.
Is that your personal email that we will get a prompt response
Yes.
from? Or?
Yes, you can do that. It's just that I needed some backup support these few days and I had somebody to help me do it, so don't worry. Thank you very much.
All
right. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah.
I need to. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Buki.
Bye.
Bye, Tayo. Bye, ciao.